Look where I am. Well, I'm in a really filthy bus. And I'm on the edge of this strange limestone again. And I still don't know if I'm on bones or structures or a combination of the two. And it's just stone after stone after stone all the way along. I mean, I've just come across the bight, but there are some interesting gaps in between. And what was that? Was that connected to this? I'd say so. They're telling me that this is all part of another star. I'm just outside Ceduna in South Australia. Over there. Limestone, limestone. And then, you know, big areas of dunes in between. So is that mining? Is that deliberate destruction? Raping and pillaging of the land? That would be nothing new, would it? Satanic forces that have no care for you or I, or the earth really. They have other places they can go to, so they think. So how the hell did I end up here? And look at the fantastic artwork on my bus. Isn't that great? Nature did that all by itself. Oh, I've got a bit scratched today. Oh yeah. We've come a couple of kilometres up a very long sandy track to get here, and she's quite narrow. Hopefully I haven't lost too much paint. Bus life. So where's the star fort, you ask? There's so many. Hang on guys, I'm going to sit down and catch you up. This is home sweet home. Oh, complete with blowflies. This is my current dirty window view. This is my little sentient being, whom I love very much. And there's a blowfly. I'll try and ditch that and I'll get comfortable.
Wake up and listen.
Okay, hopefully I'm sort of in the middle of the camera and hopefully you've got some kind of view here. Okay, here I am, just outside of Ceduna. Where the fox hat, did you say? Where the fox hat? South Australia, totally not where I expected to be. We'll talk about that some more. Have I been mud flooding? I'm sure that's what you're dying to know. A little bit of mud flooding, a lot of star forting. After driving around and round and looking, and I was desperately trying to get out of Perth to get a holiday, more on why I've been restricted travel wise, but basically Spirit said let's keep you busy looking at star forts and don't leave until you've got enough information that you can make the videos. And there is a little bit more I would like to have done, but I've had to leave in a little bit of a hurry at the moment, and I will be back soon. But I left with, now I got myself a pendulum because I walked past and they were on sale, and I said, Spirit, should I? And they went, absolutely. So that in itself was a bit of a life changer. But I asked the pendulum, and then this happened.
Hey guys, you don't need to see me in my jammies today. It's Self-Care Sunday. I'm just going to try something. I've had the most incredible week driving around Perth. Spirit said, you want to leave town? You're not finished yet. They said, you want to know where the star forts are? We'll show you. Notice I said star forts. I'm not looking at just one here. I'm wondering if they'll tell us. Now, I'm in a bus. We're trying to be as level as we can, but we parked in a cat play area, not necessarily my choice of area. I haven't even asked, and it started. How many central stars are in the Perth metropolitan area? I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. It's swinging at 4. I asked before I turned on the video. I'm looking at 4. And so many quarries. Oh my gosh. So many quarries, people. Just wanted to let you know where I was at.
4 central stars in the Perth metropolitan area. But then that also turned out to be 6 in the Greater Perth vicinity, with 1 in Mandurah down south and 1 in Yanchep up north.
So then I find myself in a golf course in a national park that's famous for caves. I mean, you wouldn't expect any kind of or star 40 mud floody things going on there, would you? I mean, it'd never occur to a person. Here we go. Wow. Well, look at the base of that trunk that's burnt out. That was a big tree. Oh my Lord. Look at that.
Now that's just in the Perth vicinity.
Look at that. Distinct layer. There's more behind. What do we got here? Quarry Adventure Park, Meadow Springs, 2012. Mervac, they were the cover-up agents in this case. Or the most recent ones. Look how different it is down there to up there.
Let's look at the ones in Perth City. We've got Fremantle or East Fremantle. So I originally looked at East Fremantle way back in the day when I looked at Plympton and Richmond, and I've since found out more things, and then what's adjoining, which I hadn't gotten to yet. Also Claremont, which was where I was talking about visiting an asylum, and that was where I fell down the quarry rabbit hole that led me to Buckland Hill, and stumbling across star 40 bits in old photos. I haven't been able to go back any further online with the photos. I may try and go there in person when I get back to Perth just for edification, just to know what they have. But I dare say what is left on file with our grubberment will be heavily edited, or if not outright destroyed. East Freo, Claremont, Kings Park, general Perth City vicinity. So I'm yet to even attempt to put that together, and I'm told that there's been a lot of destruction around the riverside of it. But we also know from previous videos that Kings Park is full of caves or tunnels or something that they're hiding, and that used to be managed but now is hidden, so managed occultly. So, and the Yanchep one, that really kind of blew me away. I knew there was a lot of limestone caves, and I've just now crossed the Nullarbor again the second time since buying the bus, and realizing how many limestone caves were there. And I would love to have visited some of those, but time, temperature, many factors. I'll try and get some more to put that together as well, but I mean, I can't staff for the entirety of Australia, not in this short space of time. But I am aware that it's been 6 months, so I've filmed a lot. Sometimes I ask questions when I'm driving and I forget that I've asked the question, or I haven't listened to the answer, and the pendulum spells it out as soon as I pick it up next. And it says, red is the blood of titans. Just thought I'd let you know. I've filmed lots of bits and pieces, and I've mapped it out in my head. I'm yet to sit down and actually draw it out. But when you factor in the quarries, there's so much that's gone. But it's just unreal putting it together. Mandurah is still, there are places that are intact there, and a lot of that is just open grazing area, like mud flat and rivered, and you can see certain places there. And you know, I've had basically channeling while I'm driving, like automatic driving. People do automatic writing, etc. Spirit just go this way, go that way, and I'm like, it's a dead end road and it's getting dark, and you know, where are we going in the dirt? It's like, just drive out there, you'll make it, the bus will make it. How many times I've said that, and I'm on roads going, Spirit, my suspension. But we're looking at stuff that ordinarily I wouldn't see. But they drove me to the end of I drove the bus, they directed, the end of a long spit, surrounded by this desolate wasteland. Really, it's just like salt ruined land. And at the end of the point, there's another point on the other side of the river that has virtually no access. It's only four-wheel drive, I think, or swim across the river. And there's a mill there in Mandurah. And none of it makes any sense when you start looking at the bigger picture and what's missing. So I will endeavour to try and put some of it back together, but they've made a seriously concerted effort to destroy these forts as well. So I do need more time to work on that, and how I try and present that to you, whether I just smash it out in a couple of hours or whether I make smaller episodes. I think it's probably easier to stay section by section and go that way. Trying to make it make sense to me is hard enough, let alone make it make sense to you guys. So while I've got your attention, previous business arising. My court date. I had a court date from my previous run-in with the law over a year ago for refusing to stifle my own breathing for fear of a cold.
that carries a potential $50,000 fine or a year imprisonment in Western Australia. Of course, I could initially have just paid the $1,000 fine and left it at that. But that sounded way too much like outright extortion, if you ask me. Give us $1,000 or we'll make you pay more. I don't participate in abusive relationships any longer, not even with the government. I'm still due back in court over that.
I'm happy to say that after 3 appearances of not really being able to get anywhere with them and them not really making much effort to prosecute me, that the matter was discontinued on the 4th appearance. So I'd gotten to the stage where I'm like, I don't know what to do. It really isn't worth throwing money at and getting legal help. And I couldn't understand why it was such an absurd thing that it was even still going, but it was still going. And I just hung on and did what Spirit guided me to do, which was don't do anything unless I'm forced to act. So I was forced to turn up again, and I was basically going to fall on my sword to say, it doesn't matter if you fine me $50,000. It doesn't matter how many times you fine me. I either won't pay the fines or I'll live in such a way that I can't. But I'm not going to stifle my own breathing for something that doesn't even affect me or scare me, because it's not what they're saying it is. So yeah, I arrived to be directed to a young police officer, and she said that it was being discontinued. I didn't need to wait, and I could go home. She would appear for me and say that was the end. And I left in happy tears and very excited that I didn't have to deal with that ever again. Spirit now tells me on the back end of it that they let that dark one, that arresting officer, they let him see my light because they're under black magic and they can't see white light. So for his learning and for me to experience PTSD release through the whole situation, which it did. But then my current predicaments probably stirred it all up again. But we'll talk more about that in the future. I'm A-okay. Look at me. I'm well and healthy. So as for the credit cards, just a quick update if anyone was wondering. I still have one that keeps offering me ways to engage with them and checking if I've missed their previous communications. delete. And I still just continue to delete them. I cannot. If I don't engage, they can do nothing. And this is after having cashed out my major asset, my house, relocating to a bus, storing away in a safe place a year's income should I need it. And they've done nothing. They haven't been able to touch me financially at all. So a few other minor bills, utilities and stuff I walked away from as well. And the agencies, the debt buyer agency members, the credit companies, phone me and they say that they're phoning on behalf of the power company or the gas company, you know, a few $100s here and there that I left behind. And I just went, I'm not playing a game anymore. I'm not playing this life, this capitalism game. And usually I'll get some muppet on the phone and they will say that they're on behalf of the company, and I will say, no, you're not. You're calling from a debt buying company, and this is what your company does, and you're extorting people by them buying the debt for a quarter of what it's worth and extorting people for the full amount. And these people go into cognitive dissonance when I read them the riot act on the phone. But I just politely tell them what they're doing for a job and that it's extortion and that they're not helping people, they're hurting people that really can't afford to pay their bills. So usually they tell me to have a nice day or something, but you know, the minute they say this call may be recorded, I'm like, let's talk, shall we? I'll tell you what you're really doing for a job. You're extorting people that can't pay their bills. Granted, I could have paid these bills, people. The choice was to see what happened if I didn't. And for all those people that sought fit to mock me in the past couple of years, that I was somehow less worthy than they were because I wasn't working the treadmill they were working, that was the plan. That was the plan the whole way. What happens if you don't? What happens if you buck the system? What happens if you refuse to go back to full-time work? Well, it keeps luring you in with the money, but what happens? There are a lot of people out there that misconstrued me, I think, or basically they just don't have the smarts to get their head around the sort of person that I am and the way I live my life. So in wrapping up with home sale and squaring up financially, I would like to come back to this topic and recap some of the personal learnings that Spirit dragged me through. Some of you may enjoy my struggle to regain my mind after the spell of capitalism was broken a few years ago. So a little bit more on that soon. I'm told to just do what I'm guided to do, and you watch the videos that apply to you, and that's cool. You know, the guys that are here for the mud flooding and the staff forwarding and stuff, wicked, great, mutual interest. We're going to have a great time coming up. And the people that are here for other reasons and just to catch up with me or whatever, there'll be lots more to talk about. One of those things being twin flames. And it's been highlighted to me that this is a huge missing in the truth community in regards to this phenomenon, this twin soul, one soul, two bodies, divine masculine, divine feminine, ultimately is the aim, but mastering those qualities within the self. And I have, I'd say unwittingly for a while of this time, been on this journey, but I was somewhat aware of it when I started the channel, and over the past couple of years it's become much more in my face. Well, I've recently had to come to serious grips with it, and that's unfortunately a large reason why I haven't been able to get a video out in the last month. I was ready. I did a practice video. I got all my systems working, my new laptop, some extra camera bits that I bought. But I've been kind of constantly on the move and having to up level in a way I really didn't expect. My twin flame journey as such, being that it is the soul's journey, without totally blowing the ending for you folks, I'll just say it hasn't gone well for now, especially for my twin, who has currently left the physical plane. And I was asked by Spirit to intervene because that's where he was headed when I last reached out to him. The way he was living his life, it wasn't going to pan out too well, and it didn't. So we were finally able to gain twin flame union, but that's in the ethers, so through telepathic union. So he's not trying to kill me anymore. He's up there wishing me well. But there's a lot to talk about, and I really want to talk about it for truthers, because there's a lot of mysticism and hype, and you know, people say, oh, you know, it's just woo woo, or it's, you know, oh, you just got to learn the lesson. That was a big one. You just learn the lesson and then you move on. You know, it's not the same as a karmic relationship like my marriage was, like the narcissist. And thank you, Steve, for revealing yourself in the comments. That was great in my last video where you went and outed yourself as the narcissist. I was happy to give you anonymity, dunce. But the same has happened here. The twin has basically outed himself in all sorts of ways in dark circles. and outed me in the process, not in the way I would have liked, and has basically tried heavily to trash my name, has set 2 lodges upon me now between his grandfather and his father. And Spirit's decided that this is going to be something that I'm going to talk about and how that all worked out. So I've spent a month basically ending the journey one way or another. And that ended with not me personally ending his life, but with returning his attempts at my life. And that wasn't easy. And there's not really anyone left in his family to lament that except his sister, as I understand. And I'm really sorry for her, but it was a choice of him or me. And Spirit said, we can't keep defending you when he's meant to be defending you. So, not really the way one aspires to twin flame union, but it's a hell of a story, and the dark ones don't want it told. So watch me. I'm going to tell it. No matter how much dark magic they send against me, this story will out. So my light work has been stepped up a notch, but it's also been a long battle of dark magic set against both my twin soul and I, and the lodge had better not try again. Anyone daring to send dark magic or negative energy against me will be unable to watch my future videos. They will be subliminally programmed with return to sender magic rebuttal. So this is how it sounds, or what it looks like. Return to sender, spell to rebut black magic. Whatever negative energy you send to me, return to you ×3. Whatever evil intentions you send my way, return to you ×3. May whatever harm you try to cause to me, return to you ×3. May none of your negative or evil energy attached to me or my family simply return to you ×3. There is a cloak of divine protection surrounding me and my family. You can do no harm to me. Nothing sinister in that, folks. Please don't be alarmed. But if you are acting against other people, beware. No harm will come to anyone who is not actively seeking to harm me. That excludes you, Rob Braden, you Masonic gimp. I know it all now. I know who paid you. I know why. You are neutralized. You're only making a fool of yourself from here, and they will dispense of you. So for now, folks, I'll leave you with a little bit of a tempter while I regroup yet again, and I hopefully free myself completely of black magic and get ready to download some star thoughts at you. Stuff we've never ever even dared imagine in Australia. It's time to rewrite his story and bring back the truth to what has gone on here. So hopefully I'll catch you soon, folks. No promises on dates as yet, but I'm actively working the twin thing. I'll be able to just kind of blurt a lot of that out and then chop it down to something meaningful. And the star thoughts, once I start getting some of it actually on paper so we can see, and all the quarries and all the different bits and pieces, I'll feed that out to you, plus more in the works. So stay tuned. Thanks for being with me. We're going up. We're nowhere near the top. Oh, a scenic drive. That's where we're going. Got your snacks, peeps? Going on a scenic drive.
Try not to tip everything out of the cupboards as we go around. Are we going to the top of the starfall? Oh, they're currently targeting illegal parking. Be afraid. Watch out, dragonfly. We're still going up. Emergency vehicles. That looks like a nice spot. Oh wow. Let's stop and take that in for a sec. This is where we are. What about that bit? Over there. Schools, Water Corporation, Scarborough, that's a long way off. Mount Kenneth Reservoir. Mount Kenneth. Kenneth. Mount Kenneth Reservoir. Oh boy, is that going to be as big a can of worms as Buckland Hill was. Old world doorways, windows. Chimneys have been dressed down. What's down the bottom there? Rhetorical, we all know. There'll be another floor. Does it have windows or not? Let's get nosy. Oh, a cellar. Like fairly uniform or potentially reworked stone. There's a big body of water out there. We'll talk more about the lake soon. The choice of the ruins or the Manning Stairs. Given that I just ate a lot of palau for lunch, we'll go with the ruins first. I don't know what relevance camels are. Perhaps I've missed something. Ah, I'm backwards on the history trail, am I? Oh, is that some kind of metaphor? Farm ruins. You think? Okay, Oh, oh look, there's been a fire. Imagine that. Okay, so that's where we are. Building 1 is Davalac House. Building 2 is the coach house and dairy. 3 are the stables and cow shed. 5 is the mulberry tree. Ooh. Does the tree have secrets? And 4 is the vineyard. Farm interpretation. Alright. Okay. So they've interpreted the outline and left out bits. And probably covered up bits. And it's in the side of a hill. That's one great big piece of rock that seems to be, rock in inverted commas, seems to be entirely unbroken. And look at that, look at that. Another one. All these vessels. Let's see what happens when we get up here. Look at that. Now that's a properly lined cavity in a body. Is it a blood vessel? It's a flippin' massive blood vessel, and there's 2 of them. Or is there something else? Is it an organ? In which case, are they chambers of a heart or something? And it's surrounded by blood vessels. Is it just a massive bone, and that's where the circulation is entering and leaving? God, it's freaking incredible though. I mean, am I looking at another piece of the woggle? Some other kind of titan? And this is indicative of the cliffs along Perth, the unstable limestone cliffs. This is why they're unstable. It's decomposing body. Still. Spirit got anything for us? Just marvel at the wonder, they said. Yeah, I am. I really am. Caution, bees in action, please keep clear. Right. We shall not anger the bees. Better watch where I'm going. So is this a quarry? Naturally formed valley? Part of another greater structure that's collapsed? What am I in? Limestone. It's another one of those things. Look at that! Rock. Rock, they say. Let me get a good view of this bit. Ooh, not a big piece of bone. See that? Get a hint of Gaudi above Barcelona. Holy shit. You see down there? You're surrounded, Bubby. You're not allowed to get out.
Bye from the bus.